thanks, Mike, for meeting with me today. I know you have very limited time, so you're so busy, but I really appreciate it. So if you don't mind, just tell me, who you are, what you do. Tell all of our students, all of our SEC students here, who you
Sure,
are.
sure. Mike McNally, I'm the athletic director here at Scottsdale Community College. I've been here now for about 3.5 years.
Awesome, cool. So what's your background? How'd you get to be the athletic director at Scottsdale Community College?
I started my athletics career in college
Okay.
when I was at Arizona State. I started off working as a student in the sports information office, which is a media
Ooh.
relations type office.
Okay.
Worked in there for 3 years.
Oh.
I was a graduate intern with them, and then I moved on and got my first job in professional sports with the Diamondbacks. That was my first full-time job.
Okay.
Worked in Major League Baseball for about 10 years, 11 years.
Wow.
1 year was with the Pirates, the rest of them were with the Diamondbacks.
Okay.
And then from there I moved on to Grand Canyon University, where I was the Associate Athletic Director for them before coming over here.
Cool. All right. So tell us about what you do as an athletic director. Like, what are some of your daily tasks and?
Junior college athletic director is not what you probably think in terms of the Division Ones. You know, if you think of like Arizona State, you think of Ray Anderson, and
Okay,
you know,
right.
and here we're kind of wearing many different hats. You know,
Okay.
so we oversee the entire department. You know, from scheduling to academics to the helping the athletic trainers with that. But we also are working in maintenance areas, game day areas, because we're so short-staffed. So we're really
Okay.
kind of doing a little bit of everything. But obviously our main focus right now for me is to make sure academically that we've got our students doing the right things and the right courses, and hopefully moving them on to their four-year institution.
Awesome. Okay. So since you brought up how things are different here,
Mhm.
what do you think you would like better, working at the junior college, or what are some pros and cons maybe of working at the junior college versus at a Division I school?
I get asked that a lot, and
Okay.
obviously there's major differences. I actually really enjoy being here because
Okay.
you get more chance to be around the students, work with the students, have an impact on the students.
Oh.
When I was over at
Cool.
Grand Canyon, it was a little bit more business oriented, if you will. There was a lot of layers between me and, say, the students at
Oh.
times. So there was just, you had so many reporting structures that went through.
Mhm.
But here, being so hands-on, you're around them a lot more, and it's awesome to see them experience successes in the classrooms and on the courts or the fields,
Yay.
and then we get to watch them when they move on to their four-year schools. So
Sure.
it's very rewarding at this level.
That's awesome. Okay, so if somebody wanted to get into what you do, what would they need to have, like, education-wise? What kind of background would somebody need?
For my specific position, I'd highly recommend a master's degree at minimum.
Okay.
That's become kind of the new norm. Before it was always bachelor's degree.
Not the kid. Okay, so.
Before it was always a bachelor's
Bachelor's
degree.
degree,
And,
okay.
now master's degrees kind of become that new minimum.
Okay.
So I recommend for anybody that gets into this field and this business to look for an opportunity where a school will pay for your master's program. There's a lot of
Ooh, so that's-
there's a lot of graduate spots that are out there. So schools will hire a graduate intern, and in turn they'll pay for their master's degree program.
Ooh,
Sometimes they'll
nice.
give you a little bit of a money stipend if you're lucky to find that, but you get that paid off.
Oh, that's
For example,
awesome.
my nephew's doing that right now at Queens in Charlotte. It's a
Okay.
Division II school. He's interning for them, but they're paying for his master's degree.
Oh, wow.
It's about a $50,000 degree that he's getting paid for free.
Okay.
So I would highly recommend people that are interested in working in athletics, no matter what field is in athletics, to look for those graduate intern spots. They're everywhere. I mean, they're across
Okay.
all the institutions will have them in all the different fields. But utilize that to have your degree paid for you, so you're not carrying a debt with you when you get done school.
Okay, and he's getting experience too while he's.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're working
so
because you're working for
in
them.
the
So
field.
that's the trade-off.
Wow,
Yeah, the
uh-huh.
trade-off is they're paying for school. You give them hours to work. Like I said,
Yes.
some will give you a stipend and give you some money as well, which
Right.
are fantastic. Some will just be school for work trade-off.
Wow.
But even if you get the school for work trade-off, and I know it can be tight, in anything in athletics too, people should know when you're starting off, it is always tight. The pay is not always the greatest up front.
Okay.
But you can utilize these positions, like I said, to get your degrees for free.
That's awesome.
There's a path to follow, and it's been tried and true, and I've gone down it, other people have gone down it, but that's the way I would certainly recommend people doing it.
Okay. So we've kind of compared the junior college to four-year schools, but so just focusing here, what do you like and what don't you like about working here at SCC?
I like the people here.
Okay.
You know, I enjoy working with not only our students, our administration is very supportive of what we're doing.
Oh, that's
It's more of a
okay, that's good to
family.
hear.
It's more of a family at this level because
Oh.
again, it's not just my department. It's every department is really taking on a lot of different hats and approaches, and we're all trying to work together. The tough parts about being in junior college is resources. We have very humble resources, and we would love to be able to provide more to our students, have more academic support, maybe in terms of tutors. You know, we don't have a lot of those things, we just can't afford to do it. So that's sometimes the frustrating part, because you walk away and you know, gosh, if we just had a little bit more, we could invest in here. But we do the best we can with what we have to try to simulate that experience that our students are going to see at the four-year level. But sometimes, you know, resources can be the frustrating part.
Wow, yeah, it must be tough. I mean, we have such great assets here, you know?
Yeah,
Good teams and.
Yeah, and here at Scottsdale specifically, and I know a lot of our student athletes know, we have great facility space.
Yeah.
You know, we have
Cool.
two full-size softball fields, two full-size baseball fields,
Mhm.
4 full-size fields in the back, soccer/football fields. Space-wise, we have an abundance of space. But sometimes with that abundance of space, we have a hard time keeping up with them, because again, that's that resource issue. You know, our maintenance people are chasing because they're short-staffed and trying to get everything done. So, so there's the goods and the bads, but I mean, it just depends on how you approach your day and how you want to look at it. You know, do you want to look at things as a challenge, or are you just going to get frustrated and say, I don't want to do that? You know, here we look at it as, okay, how do we get through the next challenge to move the ball down?
Okay. Yeah, it'd be great if we had more, I don't know, what it would take, you know, more community. I mean, so, you know, of course I go out to some baseball games. Little connection there. But, you know, it's you know, there aren't too many people from the community coming out to watch baseball games. It's too bad. I'm sure that's probably part of your job too, is doing a lot of the promoting and marketing and stuff for the
It's
department
strange,
here.
and I will say, having been at the four-year side here in this market, I honestly didn't really know, you know, about what was being offered at the junior colleges and what the campuses looked like and what the field looked like. But what I know now going in is they are assets to our community. You know, a lot of people have young families that want to bring their kids out to watch sporting events. Well, some of our events are nominal charges. A lot of them are free.
Yeah.
When you bring a youngster out here, they look up to these guys no different than they look up to somebody at Arizona State. They don't know any different. They're just like, wow,
Yay.
this is the big time. So it is a little bit of a hidden gem. You do see some people that are regulars at some of our games that show up that have kind of figured that out.
Oh, good.
But it is certainly something that, I mean, our sports are very good at this level. You know, we have some, you look at our volleyballs, our soccers, our baseballs, there's some high level talent being played here right now that are going to move on from us. So
Yeah.
it is a little bit of a hidden gem, but like I said, there's certain people, but we try to get it out as much as we can to our community, and I know all the schools in Maricopa do that as well, to try to work within their community and their surroundings to encourage people to come out and take a look, not only at our athletic programs, but get a chance to see the campus as well.
Yeah, that's so do you recommend your job to anybody, or do you think there's a certain personality type that would do better in this job?
I think the folks that love athletics
Okay.
would love this job. You know, if people are like me, you know, I grew up playing, I coached, you know, and then you come into this area, you're around it all day, and being around sporting events and being around athletes all day long, to me, it's just there's nothing better than that.
Cool.
So yeah, absolutely. If
Great
there's if you've got a sports junkie, you know, that's growing up and they're playing, eventually that playing, whether it's you stop playing in high school, whether you stop playing in college, whether you go in pros, eventually the playing time stops, and there's got to be a work element. Well, while you're doing that playing time, figure out what that work element's going to look like. Get your hands in there, start feeling it out, because eventually when you fall in that, this could be a career for someone like that to look at.
Awesome. Cool. I like to ask people, you know, what general life advice do you have? Like, how should you be happy? What should people do to be happy?
You know, I think
kind of
it's
put you on the spot.
no,
but-
it's I have a daughter in college and one that's in high school, and we
Okay.
often have this conversation, but it's our perspective. You know, how are we choosing to address the things that come at us, and we have the ability to treat things negatively. You know, we can be upset with things when they come in, or we can just take the task and how do we handle it? How do we measure it? How do we let it impact us? And in turn, what are we doing to those around us? So I would just tell anybody from my perspective is life is very, very short. And I know when people are sitting in the other chair who's listening to this, I sat in that chair before and it doesn't seem so, time goes by fast. I mean, it seems like yesterday I was in that chair and now here I am 30 plus years later in this chair. And it does go by fast. And so to me, enjoy the things that you have. This particular job that I'm doing, I mean, we know its importance and its level to move people on. I don't sit at a sporting event and know that that's a, oh my gosh, if we don't win, it's a life and death. It's not. It's not.
Okay.
You know, their education's more important. That moves them on. It helps them to be more productive. But we put them in perspective. What's our perspective on how we look at things? And I think for a lot of us, when we walk away from it, you know, we're gaining great experiences. We're gaining great experiences with our teammates. We're learning how to work with each other. But then as we move on and we take those skills, we can take them into our working lives, our, you know, our personal lives with our families, our kids, all those things that we learn here. But it's your perspective.
Awesome. Yay. Have a good perspective in life. I love it. If you don't mind, can I grab a couple more minutes of your time? Can we talk about other careers that you've had in the past?
Sure.
Kinda
Yeah, sure.
Talk about,
Yeah.
you know, what are some good
Yeah.
things and bad things about those jobs
Yeah,
too?
so my Major League Baseball career was in public relations. So I was the
Okay.
PR director for the Arizona Diamondbacks and Pittsburgh Pirates. So in those jobs, I would travel with the team on the road and provide all the information that the media would have. You set up all the arrangements for players, whether it's a media interview, a community interview. You're really that go-to between
Oh.
organization or media to clubhouse. We were kind of termed like the gatekeeper
Okay.
of the room that went in there. So you develop really close relationships with the players, the coaching staff, the baseball operations staff. For me, growing up, baseball was my favorite sport. I had always said as a kid, I'd love to play Major League Baseball. Obviously, I wasn't blessed with the physical talents, but I got to hang with a Major League Baseball team all year long. You know, February to, you know, October, we're there, and we're doing those things. And so it was a great job. The drawbacks to that job was the time of being away from home. We started in February, and go to October. We were pretty much gone in that same stretch of time. So I had a family back home that didn't see me an awful lot. And there's a trade-off to those things and trying to balance that out. But it's a great job. I think with all these jobs, I mean, if you take a step back, anybody who wants to work in athletics can work in athletics.
Okay.
There's junior college athletics, there's collegiate athletics, that's Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA. Then you have professional sports, you look at all the ones at the top. But even below that, there's minor league sports, you know, minor league hockey, there's basketball teams, there's baseball teams. There's a plethora of jobs in athletics that are out there. People tend to focus on, oh my gosh, if I don't work at the Diamondbacks or I don't work at the Suns, I can't.
Right.
They're everywhere. And the
Okay.
fields are in there. So if someone wants to work in athletics, they're there. They're
Okay.
there. I found Major League Baseball by volunteering to work an expansion draft. When the Diamondbacks came into town, I worked the expansion draft.
Interesting.
The next thing I got a phone call and I was offered a position.
Huh.
I just volunteered to work an expansion draft.
Huh.
And doors opened up in front of me. So there's every opportunity to do that. And if you love a particular sport, like I did with baseball, I kind of targeted my career towards that initially. If someone's a football fan, they can target their career towards that. You know, as a student, you call the Cardinals. They have game day staffs that they're looking for. Pay's not going to be great, but you get your foot in the door, start making a name for yourself. All those opportunities are there.
Ooh, that's some valuable information. So can I, again, this is all kind of off the cuff, just kind of pushing your brain here. What other jobs do you think, you know, would be great for people, you know, that maybe don't know about that are available in sports? So you did public relations. What else is there?
Well, you've got everything that you see in a business world is taking place in an athletics world. So you have
Okay.
accountants, you know,
Okay.
you have marketing folks,
Okay.
you have lawyers, you have athletic trainers. So, I mean, any type of job and scope, there's maintenance people. You need plumbers, you need electricians, you need security people. All those jobs exist within the Major League team or professional team.
Cool.
Or at the Diamondbacks, those jobs were all listed on there. So we had our accounting groups and we had our sales team, community relations team. I mean, all those things exist. So if you have a passion for athletics and you have a specific interest professionally speaking,
Yeah.
those two things can align.
That's
They can align.
awesome.
Now, drawbacks again to athletics, sometimes in athletics we don't get paid as much as maybe some of the people on the outside. But
Okay.
then there's the perks of the job.
Yeah.
Most times you're going to have free tickets to games.
Yay.
When your teams make the playoffs, there's you could see a World Series ring, as most of them do that for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Opportunities to be around players. There's a lot of meet and greet opportunities and things. So there's a lot of
Oh,
cool benefits that come with working for a professional sports team.
Yeah.
Collegiately, similar things that are offered there. Sometimes the collegiate side, which is a bonus there, is eventually if you have families, they'll pay for some of your tuition.
Yeah.
In Grand Canyon's case, when I was there, they paid 100% of the tuition. So if I had a family member that wanted to go to school, they pay 100% of their tuition.
Wow.
So
That's a good perk.
so there's certainly perks that kind of offset.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, you're working around sports. You're working around a great, fun environment every day. I often say, when I was working at the Diamondbacks, when I'm driving down the 10 and you can see that ballpark, yeah, that's my office. That's my office over there.
Right.
Where a lot of people drive up to that going, oh, I want to go to that game tonight. I'm thinking, I work there.
Yeah.
I go there every day.
Every day. Cool. Wow. Wow, that's a whole lot of very valuable information. Awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
Anything else that you think we didn't cover yet about either, career in athletic, as an athletic director or any other
No, I would, for any of your students that are listening to this, my office is always available. They can stop by if they ever just, want to pop their head in
That's
and ask
great.
any questions. I'd certainly share any of the experiences that I've had when I've got there. I can certainly recommend them to certain other people here in town that they could possibly look at and talk to.
Wow.
Already did it with my daughter. My daughter's, again, she's at ASU and she's studying medicine.
Okay.
But she happened to meet up a friend who is doing marketing and is a huge basketball fan. Well, I connected her with the athletic department, and now she's working over in the athletic department.
Ah.
And it's just knowing people that can kind of at least point you in those right directions. So,
Mhm.
glad to help in any way that I can. If
Awesome.
people have that interest, and I can at least say, hey, this is how I did it. But it's there. The opportunities are there to get in the door. It's just start now, start
Okay.
early. When you get to your four-year institution, get involved right away. That's one of those, don't wait until the end, because
Okay.
after you've graduated from your four-year institution, don't then decide, oh, I want to do this. Because what you're
Okay.
going to do is you're going to run aground with all those people who've been doing it while they're in college. And they're going to
Right.
get the job before you. So
Mm.
get in there, make yourself competitive right away, get the
Okay.
job skills, and then that sets you up so you can continue down the path.
Okay. Like you said, that's probably true of any field. Yeah. That's good.
Get
Right.
in early.
Get in. All right. Cool. Okay, so I can share your information then with
Yeah,
put
yeah.
it on the
Absolutely.
video.
Yep, tell them to
Awesome.
stop on by. Yep.
Thank you.
You're
Well, that's
welcome.
very cool of you, Mike.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. Cool.
Thank you.
Yay. So Mike McNally. Cool. And DJ.
And DJ.